Hi, Daddy. We are so glad that you liked your birthday present. But since it's pretty much unsustainable for us to keep you in smoked steelhead and tri-tip, we thought it might be a good idea for you to learn how to take care of yourself in this regard. So my oh-so-clever husband, and who happens to also be an oh-so-clever chef, put together a video for you. We hope you like it, and we hope you try it. Love you.
Hey Dean, son-in-law David here. Since you so much loved my smoked salmon candy, it inspired me to make this video and show you how to do it at home, give you kind of the ins and outs of how I do it. One thing I love about cooking is there is really ultimately only one requirement, and that is that it tastes delicious. So there are no rules other than that as far as I'm concerned. So with that, I'm going to go through some of the ins and outs and steps on how I made the smoked salmon, which actually was steelhead trout, that I sent to you. Okay, so let's get started. Got some beautiful pink salmon steaks here. These are actually steelhead fillets. And this recipe will do quite a bit more than this, so just know that. In this we're going to use olive oil, onion powder, garlic powder, some orange champagne vinegar, but you can use orange juice concentrate if you like. That works fine. We're just looking for that orange flavor. This is a tablespoon of orange zest and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, some salt and pepper. Okay, so let's get started mixing. We're going to go with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 1 and 2. We're going to go with a tablespoon of the orange champagne vinegar. Again, you can use a tablespoon of orange juice concentrate if you like. We're going to throw in this tablespoon of orange zest. That's basically a real fine grated orange peel. Throw that in there. We're going to go with 2 tablespoons of dark brown sugar. 1 teaspoon of onion powder. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And then about a half a teaspoon of salt and about a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper. Then I go ahead and mix that all up, and you'll see what you'll have when you're finished is a nice sort of thin, pasty, sweet, orange flavored, what I call salmon candy. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take some cooking spray. This is a canola oil cooking spray. And we're going to liberally spray the foil that these fish are going to go on. You want to make sure it doesn't stick, so get that on there good. Put that down. And then with your salmon or steelhead trout, any pink fish pretty much, you want to make sure you pat it dry with a paper towel so that it's good and dry, so that the dressing will stick. So we're just going to lay those down there, skin side down, like so. Make sure that you can see this here. I'm just going to zoom it in a little bit. And down there. Okay. And then we're going to take our brush. And we're just going to be nice and liberal, get a lot of that candy coating on that fish. One of the things I like to do is on the fillets is before I coat them is I'll run my fingers across to make sure if there's any bones in them that I'll pull the bones out, try to get that out if you can. But other than that, these fillets are ready to go on the smoker now. It's not a bad idea to put them in a marinade or in a dish and refrigerate them for a while. A couple hours or even overnight, that's all fine and dandy. But we're going to go ahead and put these on the smoker like this, and then we're going to, with the rest of this, we're going to go back and marinate it at intervals of about every 30 to 45 minutes. This should take probably about 2 hours in total to smoke. So with that, let's go out back and I'll show you the smoker, the grill, and all the things we need to do out there. One of the very important pieces of equipment obviously is the barbecue. In this particular case it's a Weber. Some of the key components I'm going to show you that are important to being able to do this. So I'm going to grab the camera here and bring it up closer and show you. So beneath at the bottom there is this is the reservoir that allows you to easily remove the ash can at the bottom, which allows you to just cleans easy. So it's a pretty great little feature. Now this is the vent control for the bottom, and you'll notice if you look closely there, you will see that I have put a mark here and a mark here on where I like it to be properly set. That's just a little bit of a gap on the bottom, just let as little air in as possible to keep the fire going and not out. And then on the top you'll see the standard Weber grill functions, and what I'll do with this is just, again, I'm trying to keep it as little airflow as possible without letting the fire actually go out. So you can see there's a slight little tiny little gap there of air that can get through, and you should see air, or rather smoke, coming out when you're doing it. Over here I've had this is alder wood. It's been soaking in water, getting good and wet. You want that water and that moisture in it. So that's going to go into what I call a smoker log, which I'll show you how to do that next. Okay, on the inside, how we build the fire. You'll see here, you want enough briquettes, and these are actually mesquite wood. This is burnt mesquite wood. You want enough of that to be able to burn for 2 hours. That's probably not enough. So in all likelihood I'm going to need to go to the store before this is over and get more, but at any rate, that's about, you want that much. Now, what I've done here with the aluminum foil is I've created a shield or a barrier so that this side of the grill doesn't have direct heat from the fire. I want this inside, I want the smoke to come up from here and circulate around the top. So I'm going to place my fish over here and my fire over here, and then this whole piece of aluminum is just, again, it's a heat shield that protects any direct heat to the fish. Okay, then this is the smoke log. This is what we're going to put right on top of the fire, and so this is what's going to give us the wood chip flavor, and also that nice wet moisture that's going to be in the fish. So I'm going to put these soaked wood chips in here. I'm going to try to retain as much water as I possibly can, because I want that to actually steam while it's cooking. So we're going to place that in there, and then we're going to roll this up just like this, and then close off the end so that that water can't escape, like so. There's our log, and then we're just going to take a little fork and we're going to poke some holes right in the top. So as this heats, it'll burn the wood, giving that nice smoky flavor, and this will go right on top of the fire after the fire is going. So it's actually going to sit right there, right on top. You can see that, like so. Alrighty, our fire is good and hot. I'm going to go ahead and place our smoker log right on top of that fire, like so. I'll grab the camera and bring it over here so you can see everything after I'm done. But that is right on top of there. To go ahead and add to all this, because I can, I'm going to throw on some beef ribs that I have rubbed with some Killer Hogs dry rub. And I'm just going to sit those in there. One of the things with beef ribs, like with most ribs, is low and slow is the way you cook them. It takes a long time, and you want it to be falling off the bone. So I'm just going to go ahead and sit those in there like this. And bring the camera over here, and you can take a better, closer look. You can see the fire's down there blazing. Let's see here. There we go. It's popping and cracking. That's how you know the fire's hot and ready to go. The ribs are there. I added a couple more fillets and basted them. And now it's just a matter of put the lid on and wait. So let's Set that right there. Vent holes for the lid on the farthest distance from the fire so that the smoke is circulating through and coming out this way. So smoke holes are over here. And again, just as little air traveling through it as you can possibly get and still keep the fire going. You know, if the fire starts to go out, you need to give it more air. So that's going to be trial and error. Every 30 minutes at this point, we'll come back and check it. You want to try to keep the lid on as much as possible, but we want to baste that fish. So we're going to come back and check it and baste it. And in 2 hours from now, we should have some really, really delicious salmon candy. All right, we are about 45 minutes into it now, so let's go ahead and grab the camera and take a closer look, and we're gonna do some basting too. So I'm just gonna move this right over to here, like so, and let you see where we're at. It's looking good. Fire's still going nicely. So I'm just gonna take what I have here and layer that across some more of this. This will be the last time I do this, so I'm going to use all the rest of this. Now, one of the ways you can tell it's starting to be cooked is the fish will actually start to sweat. So you'll see what looks like sweat coming up from the fish. But ultimately it comes down to 2 hours. If you do this for 2 hours, you're very much gonna like what you have when you're done. And that looks pretty good. Those ribs are looking really nice too. Long way to go on the ribs though. Low and slow. Fire looks still nice and warm. Good fire going there. You can see that. And I'm just gonna grab my tongs here. This is our little smoker log. I'm gonna put that more on top there. I'm gonna move these around a little bit just to make sure they keep going. But they're burning nicely. Still going nicely. Nice and warm. About 170 degrees is what we're looking for. That's over there. And about an hour and 15 minutes and we're done. Oh yeah, one other thing I forgot to mention was the actual wood chips. These are alder wood. Works really great with fish. There's a lot of different chip types out there, from apple to alder to mesquite and cherry wood. But these are, you'll notice it's the finer grain of wood. It's not the big chunks, it's the smaller stuff. So apple wood is also really good with fish, as you can imagine. But on the back of these, it tells you, on the instructions, it tells you what wood works good with what type of item you're smoking. So just a little info on that. Okay, I would like to introduce my lovely assistant and wife, Lynn Marie Doty.
Hello.
She is going to go ahead and take a look at the smoked salmon candy and make sure that it's done. It's been a couple hours now, so I think we're about ready to try this. So there is looking like a finished product.
I would really like to try this.
Perfect. So what you want to do is just see if the fish is nice and flaky and comes off.
Oh, it is
and
very
tender.
flaky.
And then that looks pretty good. And then just go ahead and try some of that. Probably 4 to 8 hours on the ribs, and if you get a little anxious like I'm getting, I might actually move them into the oven, but they'll have the nice smoky flavor anyway.
Can I keep eating?
You can. Do you want to save some for your dad though?
Not particularly. Was this
Okay.
for him?
No. Okay.
Is it Chef one time?
I would love some.
I'm better at feeding myself.
goodbye, Dad.